Hi, this is Munson with Munson Music, and we're going to talk about how you could play through Alice's Restaurant by Arlo, Gutherie. And we're going to start off kind of walking through a really easy chord version, and then we'll kind of elaborate that into all the fingerstyle licks. We're going to start off with kind of that intro around a G major chord. When we play G major, first finger goes to the A on the 2nd fret, second finger on the low E string on the 3rd fret, and third finger on the high E string on the 3rd fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds a G major chord, and it sounds really, really happy. And on our lead off, actually, we kind of start off with kind of a G major, and then we go to an A minor chord. When we play A minor, first finger goes to the B string on the 1st fret, second finger on the D string on the 2nd fret, and third finger on the G string on the 2nd fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds an A minor chord, and it sounds really, really sad. And then from the A minor, we kind of go to something called another G major, but now we got something called G/B, where you kind of hear the B string on the B note on the A string second kind of come out of the chord. And you may even want to kind of think about this, kind of thinking about the fingerstyle licks, taking the 3rd finger and going to the B string 3rd fret and the pinky on the high E string on the 3rd fret. And if you strum all those together, that's another way you could play your G major. And actually what really kind of comes out in that actually is kind of that A string to the B string actually of that chord. So we kind of have G, A minor, G/B to lead us into a C major chord. And when you play C major, first finger goes to the B string on the 1st fret, second finger on the D string 2nd fret, and third finger on the A string on the 3rd fret. And if you strum the A string to the high E string, that sounds a C major chord, and it sounds really, really happy. And then from the C, we're going to be going to an A major chord. When we play A major, first finger goes to the D on the 2nd fret, second finger on the G string 2nd fret, and the third finger on the B string on the 2nd fret. And if you strum the A string to the high E string, that sounds an A major chord. Now you may also want to think about kind of lifting off the 2nd finger and making that an A7 chord. You can kind of readjust if you're slightly lifted. Or take the pinky and go to the high on the 3rd fret if you wanted to kind of make that a really bitey A7. And then from there we go to a D major chord. We play D major. First finger goes to the G string on the 2nd fret, second finger on the high E on the 2nd fret, and third finger on the B string on the 3rd fret. And if you strum the D string to the high E string, that sounds a D major chord. That sounds really, really happy. And then from the D, we go back to G major, and then we go to C major, and then we kind of start our walk up again, kind of G, A minor, G/B, and then we go back to C major, A major, and then D major. And randomly on the D major, there's another D that Arlo's kind of digging on for the fingerstyle part, where you can do first finger on the B string on the 3rd fret, second finger on the D string on the 4th fret, and third finger on the A string on the 5th fret. So it kind of looks like C, but now you're two strings or 2 frets off. You got kind of 3rd fret, 4th fret, 5th fret, instead of 1, 2, 3. And I call that D add 4. So you want to think about using that for your D chord. And then from there, then we go back to our G major chord, and then we kind of start our walk up again to go into what I'm calling the chorus. So if a lot of times with a song like this, though, to make it more interesting, I like adding something called a strum pattern. And one of my favorite strum patterns for a 4/4 like this is down, down, up, up, down, up. So we took the G and just tried that a lot. You'd have down, down, up, up, down, up, down, down, up, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. Now this is a little weird because our lead off at the very beginning, that G, A minor, G/B, we kind of do downs on. Then we could have our C with our whole strum pattern. From C, down, up, down, and then go to the A with our whole strum pattern. Down, down, up, down, and then we do the D major, down, up, G with a down, down, up, and then C with kind of the hits. G, A minor, G/B, and then we're back to C with a down, down, up, down, up, A with a down, down, D with a down, up, down, G down, down, A minor, G/B, into our chorus part. And through our chorus part, we go to a C major chord, and we kind of work the C major with our whole strum pattern. But then we go to a C7 chord, where you kind of take the pinky and add him in on the G string on the 3rd fret. And if you strum the A string to the high E string, that sounds a C7 chord. It sounds really nasty. It's kind of supposed to. And that helps lead us into an F major chord. When we play F major, first finger goes across the entire 1st fret, and we'll talk about an easier way to play this too. But then second finger goes to the G on the 2nd fret, third finger on the A string 3rd fret, and the pinky on the D string on the 3rd fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds an F major chord, and it sounds really, really happy. Now, a good substitute for that is something called F major 7, where you do the first finger on the B string on the 1st fret, second finger on the G string 2nd fret, third finger on the D string on the 3rd fret. And if you strum the D string to the high E string, that sounds an F major 7. It sounds really, really happy. And then from the F, we go to a D major chord, but you'll kind of hear the low E string on the 2nd fret F sharp note kind of come out in that chord. And you could, that's something called D slash F sharp, where you play a D major, but you got an F sharp in the bass. And you could play that with first finger on the low E string on the 2nd fret, second finger on the G string 2nd fret, third finger on the high E string 2nd fret, and the pinky on the B string on the 3rd fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds a D slash F sharp. Or you could even take the regular D shape and use your thumb on the low E string on the 2nd fret to kind of cover that note. And from there, then we go back to C major, and then we go to an A major, and then we kind of half a D major and a G major, and then go to a C, and then we kind of start off by walking it on the G, A minor, G slash B to start back on our verse again. So we tried that with our down, down, up, down, up. We'd have C, down, up, down, up, C, 7, down, up, down, up, F, down, down, D slash F sharp, down, down, up, C, down, down, up, down, down, B, down, G, down, up, C, G, A minor, G slash B, back at the top again. Now, one other thing that I would think about adding to the song, though, is bass notes. And a lot of times on that first down of the down, down, up, down, up, you're throwing a bass note for the chord. So on the C, you have the A for the bass. On the A major, you have the A string for the bass. And on the A minor, you have the A string for the bass. On the G slash B, you'd have the A string for your bass. Kind of trying to bring out that bass note. And you could even kind of make that whole hit at the beginning kind of just a bass run if you wanted to that way. Kind of that G, A minor, G slash B to lead into the C with the A bass. And then A with the A bass, and then the D would have the D bass, the G would have the low E bass, and then we kind of be back, and you could even kind of make that kind of bass run again. C with the A bass, and then we got the D with the D bass, and then you kind of be back to that G major, and you could even kind of work that as kind of that bass run there too. And then if we kind of work that through our chorus part, you could do the C with the A bass, C7 with an A bass, F with the low E bass, or the D string for the bass, D slash F sharp, you could do the low E string for your bass. And then we'd be back to the C with an A bass, and A with an A bass, and then we'd be back to the D with the D bass, G with low E bass, and back to the C, and then we'd start our bass run again. So we tried that all the way through, kind of through our verse. We'd have the C with an A bass, A with an A bass, D with a D bass, G with low E bass, part where we got the C with an A bass, C7 with an A bass, F with low E bass, C slash F sharp with low E bass, and the C with an A bass, down, down, D with an A bass, down, down, D with an E bass, down, G with low E bass, down, C, G, A, B to kind of lead you back. And you'd be repeating that for a long time, about 17 minutes. Or another way to kind of work it would be trying to do some of the fingerstyle licks that Arlo's doing. And this gets a little weird. Well, one really easy way to kind of fingerstyle through the tune is you could use your thumb for your bass player for all the A string and D string and low E string notes. Your index finger could go to the G string on the 3rd fret, middle on the B string, or index finger on the G string, middle finger on the B string, and ring finger on the high E string. And if you're kind of new to this, it can be kind of a cool thing to kind of just work just thumb, index, middle, ring. And that could be a very, very cool way to kind of work it in place of kind of our down, down, up, down, up. And that intro lick actually is a very, very cool thing where you do 3rd on the low E string, and open B, and then you go to open A with the 1st fret on the B string, and then you go to that 2nd fret on the A string with 3rd fret on the B string. So we want to kind of use that for those walks. It's almost like you're kind of implying the G and the A minor and the G slash B. And then you have your C chord, A major with the A bass, and then D with the D bass, G with low E bass, and then you can even kind of hit the C and then start that walk up again. C, A then we could try that through our chorus part. So you have C with an A bass, C7 with an A bass, F with low E bass, D slash F sharp with low E bass, C with an A bass, A with an A bass, D with a B bass, G with a low E bass, and then we hit the C and start our walk up again. They kind of go back to the C to start over again. Now the actual licks kind of start that way, where you got that 3 and 0, 0 and 1, 3 and 2, and then on the C chord you do the A string third with the open E, and then hit the B string first fret with D string on the second, and then you go to third on the A string with fourth fret on the B string, and then go open E, and then second on the D string, open G. So that kind of becomes your C lick. So 3 and 0, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, open E, 2, 0. And then on the A chord, we kind of play open A, but then we go to 5th fret on the high E string with the D string second. So you may want to kind of think about doing your A as kind of like a little bar over the D, G, and B strings. And then we do a D on the 2nd fret with the 3rd on the high E string, 5th fret on the B, and then kind of come back to the D string and the G string of that. So that kind of becomes your A lick. So kind of that 2 and 5, 2 and 3, 5, 2, 2. And then from there we kind of use that other voicing for the D major. It looks like a C major chord. And you do the A and the B string at the same time. Open E, and then 4th fret on the D, open G, and then we go to 3rd fret on the low E string for the open B, open G, open high E, and then we go to 3rd fret on the B string with 1st fret on the B to kind of apply that C chord at the end. So you got that 5 and 3, 0, 4, 0, 3 and 0, 0, open E, 3 and 1, and then we kind of start our walk back up. So all together you got our G, A minor, G slash B, C licks, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, open E, 2, 0, 0, 2 and 5, 2 and 3, 5, 2, 2, 3 and 5, 0, 4, 0, 3 and 0, 0, open E, 3 and 1, and then we start 3, 0, open 1, 3 and 2, and then we almost kind of start that same walk up. Our C licks stay the same, and our A licks kind of stay the same. But then we kind of tag it with kind of this variation on the D, where we do the 3 and 5 together, open E, 4 on the D, open G, and then we do that again. So the 3 and 5, 0, 4, 0, and then we hit the 3rd on the low E string for the open B. That's kind of implying the G chord before we kind of start our walk back up. So all the way through our whole verse, we got kind of our walk up to the C chord, C licks, and then A licks, and then our D lick, G, and then C, and then we start the walk, G, A minor, G slash B, C licks, A licks, D licks, D licks, G, and then we start our walk up again, G, A minor, G slash B, and then through our chorus part, we kind of start with that same C idea, but then we do a little variation on it where you play the 3rd on the A string with the open E, and then open G, but then we go to 2nd on the D for open E, open G, and then 3 and open together, and then we go high on the 3rd, and then 2nd on the D, open G. So that's a little weird for that variation. You got A and E, O, and then 2 and O, 3 and O, 3, 2, O. And then for the F chord, we kind of take low E on the 1st fret, 1st fret on the B string, and then play those two together, and then go to 3rd on the B string, open D, and then G on the 2nd fret. So it's almost like a little abbreviation of kind of the F. So we got kind of that 1s together, 3, 0, 2, 1s together, 3, 0, 2, and then we almost kind of do that same idea, but we change our bass note to that F sharp for the D slash F sharp idea. So now I got 1st finger on the B string 1st fret, 2nd finger on the low E string 2nd fret, and 3rd finger on the G string 2nd to kind of start off that 2 and 1 together. 3 on the B, open D, 2nd on the G, and kind of doing that same lick again. And then we kind of end with kind of our C licks one more time. And then we go back to our A licks, and then we do our D lick, the G lick, and then our C lick, kind of like our first time through. So all through our chorus, we got kind of our walk to set it up. And then we got our C licks, and then our variation variation on the C, and then our F, B slash F sharp, G, or C licks, and then our A licks, B licks, G licks, C. So all the way through the whole thing from the very top with those fingerstyle licks, you got kind of that G, A minor, G slash B, C chord licks, A licks, D licks, G licks, C, G walk, G, A minor, G slash B, C licks, A licks, D licks, D licks, G, and then the G walk to lead us into our chorus part. We got our C licks, variation on the C, and then our F idea, D slash F sharp idea, and then we kind of end up with that, when it is a third fret on the low E string, when you start that C lick off that last time, and then the A licks, and then the D licks, G licks, C, and we're basically going to be repeating that through the whole tune, kind of that one form. Although there will be moments, especially if you're covering this, where you'll want to stop. I sound and then you'll have to ramble off a whole bunch of crazy cool Arlo Gutheriness. So you may want to kind of listen out for those in the recording, where you may want to kind of pause and then kind of pick it back up again. But we basically be repeating that until we get to our outro. There's this cool little turnaround where we go back to kind of F major, and then G major, and then we do kind of a C and an F, and then the C, G, C at the very end. So you could do that outro with kind of just our down, down, up, down, up. Da 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 da, F, down, up, down, up, D, down, up, down, up, C, down, up, F, down, up, C, G, C. Or you could do that with basses and have F with the bass, down, up, down, G with low E bass, down, up, down, C with A bass, down, F with the bass, down, up, C, G, C. Or you could try that with just that thumb index middle ring idea for the fingerstyle, to F, G, C, F. And you may want to kind of use all the fingers to kind of get all those all together. Or especially if you're using the fingerstyle version, you may want to think about just using your index finger to kind of break into that strumming, that F, down, up, down, up, G, down, up, down, up, C, down, up, F, down, up, C, G, C, kind of at the very, very end. But that's the basics of how you could strum through and kind of easily fingerstyle, or kind of work on the licks for Alice's Restaurant by Arlo Gutherie. So good luck!